What that danyo, what that dang, and go danyo, oh, what that dang. Ibrahim Mahama is a philanthropist. He's also a businessman. These are the very positive things I can say about Ibrahim Mahama. I'm not interested in delving into anything negative. My brother, he is a crazy philanthropist. And at the same time, Ibrahim Mahama is a businessman. He decided to dredge the Koli Lagoon, my brother, my sister, for free. But because his father, the President of the Republic of Ghana, John Dramani Mahama, his brother actually, who doubles as his father, because he's older than Ibrahim. Their father is no more. In the northern setting, your eldest brother becomes your father when your father is gone. My brother, my sister, they refused and read a lot of political undertones into this. At the end of the day, you know what happened? They doled out money from the taxpayers' coffers and loans, my brother, my sister, to go and dredge the lagoon. The taxpayer paid a lot of money in millions of American dollars. And when you go to the site, it's like nothing happened. Yet Ibrahim wanted to do it for free. How many times have we heard that our country has gone to the support of some other countries? The only time I heard about this, apart from the great Osajefo Kwame Nkrumah, who did it for some African nations like Guinea and the rest of them, it was Atta Mills who sent an envoy and also some donation, my brother, my sister, for the victims of an earthquake that hit Haiti. Today, as it stands, my brother, my sister, it is shocking. Ibrahim has decided to strengthen the ties between Liberia and Ghana individually. He's gone there and he's donated 20 police cars to a struggling nation, plus generator plants for their airport. Today, my brother, my sister, it might just look like a gift for the people, but you will see it as very important when your family members are flying to Liberia and they crash at the airport and die because there was doomso. We all remember the Sosoliso plane crash in Nigeria. It was because of doomso. Historians like us would always remember. Those of you who used to follow the program called Married and Single. Remember Bimbo? Pastor Bimbo, who used to host this program. So many young ladies were interested in it. She lost her life in that crash. Sosoliso air crash in Nigeria. As the plane was landing, free, doomso, the plane crashed and killed so many people, including Bimbo. It could happen in Liberia. But a philanthropist from Ghana has decided to donate how much? 20 cars to the police and generator plants to the airport, 3 of them. As for Ibrahim, I sympathize with him. And every time I pray that God gives him more so he can withstand the pressure. You know why I say so? I have links to Ibrahim. I've met him only once all my life. It's not because I don't want to meet him, but anytime I want to call him, I feel bad. The number of people who are feeding from his hands. Take a walk around Ibrahim's house, around Gold House. My brother, just around Accra Girls. It looks like Nima has been uprooted and taken to Ibrahim's house. Shaiman has been uprooted and taken to Ibrahim's house. You will see people in their hundreds, seated in front of the gate, waiting for Ibrahim to come and give them money. Or else that day they won't eat. And all you hear is, Wallahi, Allah, 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 Wallahi, Allah, Wallahi. That's all you hear there. That tells you that most of these people are from the Zongo. Such a man, no matter how hungry I am as Blakk Rasta, I will not go to Ibrahim asking him for a penny. No. The money he will give to me, let him give to those people who come sitting in front of his gate, day in and day out. Sometimes tears come down my eyes. As I said, I want to look at the positive parts. I want to see African nations involved in some of these humanitarian, or better still, solidarity measures. I want to see Ghana donate to Nigeria. I want to see Nigeria come here and donate to Ghana. We over-rely on the West for support. That is why we continue becoming puppets of the West and we don't move forward. To Ibrahim, congratulations and God bless you. Now the next thing, my brother, my sister, I want to look at, and I need you to come along. It's interesting. Hey, Kai, Ghana is interesting. Ha! Ha! Hey! I'm taking you all the way to Gonja land. And when we talk about Gonja land, everybody knows about the Jinapors. Everybody knows about Mahama. These people are Gonjes. They are slaves to the Sisales. Those who understand what I mean know it exactly. Don't take any offense. It's only a traditional talk. I read this and it's coming from my Joy Online. It says, Yogbonwura of Gonja land bans Abu Jinapor from palaces in traditional area. Wow. Yogbonwura is like the Asante Hini of the Gonjes. He's like the Yana of the Gonjes. He is the king of the Gonjes. He sits on the throne of Sumaila Ndeura Jakpa. Ha! Yogbonwura is very powerful. In fact, he's more powerful than all the chiefs and kings in Ghana if we were to judge power by the amount of land we have. The Gonjas have the biggest land in Ghana. Did we know that? Fortunately, power is not judged by how much land you have. It's judged by your influence and what you do for your people. Hallelujah. I read. Paramount chief of the Gonja land, Yogbonwura, B. Kunuto Jewuswale, has issued a decree banning last minister Samuel Abdullahi Jinapor from entering all palaces within the Gonja kingdom. Now, this decision was announced following what the Yogbonwura described as a breach of tradition and respect. Hey! My brother, do we all remember last week when I talked about Baumia being endorsed by Bupe Ura, who himself is a Jinapor? Therefore, it was this same Abdullahi Jinapor who took Baumia to his father, Bupe Ura, sidestepping the king of the land, Yogbonwura. Now, the interesting thing is that the Jinapor that we're talking about here, you know there are two Jinapors. This is Samuel Abdullahi Jinapor. He is a royal. He comes from Bupe. His father is Bupe Ura. He decided to take Baumia to his father without following the right gates. They are royals and they understand what it is when we say tradition in the area. So, this man here called Yogbonwura is not a small king. When you make national utterances like this and national visits, the first place of call is to go straight to the Yogbonwura, because he is the head of the land. Then you will seek permission from him and say, From here, we want to go to some other side chiefs. And he says, I've given you the go ahead. But no, they decided to go straight to the father, Bupeura. And he showered praises on Baumia to the point of desecrating the oracle by saying that Baumia has been chosen by God to rule the people. Oh my God. My problem is not the God that he desecrated. My problem is that our chiefs and kings should stay away from politics, as the Constitution has said. When you read the story, it doesn't say why Samuel Abdullah Jinapor has been banned from coming to the area with any delegation. But those of us who know. And from what we said from last week up till now, this is what it is. His problem is that you are a royal. You know the laws traditionally. Why did you sidestep that? Now Jinapor knows what to do in order to pacify this situation so he can return to the area. We will leave them to deal with the issue. But please, do not engage our chiefs and kings in politics. Now the next thing I would like to look at is this, and it's interesting. From Ghana Web, and it says, acquire work skills before leaving the country. Mahama advises the youth. And I read, former President John Dramani Mahama has urged the youth to acquire work skills before leaving the country. Now, according to Mahama, having a skill increases one's chances of finding a job in other countries. If young people have completed school and have not found a job yet, they should acquire a skill so they can enter the workforce. Mahama said, there are many people who want to japa. But if you are japaing, do so with a skill. That's Mahama's thing. Japa means fly away to a foreign land. My brother, my sister, things are happening in our country. Mahama has spoken, and I want us to look at it briefly. First and foremost, I will not encourage any youth to leave this country. You should only leave this country if there's an abundance of your skill here that you are not needed anymore, or there's a better pay that you're going to get that can trickle to the country to help the country grow. In either cases, it's correct. In a country where unemployment is one of the biggest problems, solving it is to be able to get skill. A lot of our unemployment is born out of unskilled people. Everybody, my brother, my sister, is out there looking for a job without a skill. And in Ghana, we continue risking this professional space with unskilled labor. It's sad. Somebody comes, he says he wants to be a watchman. Oh, as for watchman, there you don't need any skill. Just get a bow and arrow, or sit outside in the mosquitoes. When you see shadows, you shout, hey, Will. That is not a skill. Do not demean the work of the watchman or the security man. Your life is at risk. Sometimes I see some people employ old men. Some of them past 100 years that they are watchmen, especially where I come from. And they pay them 20 cedis a month. God will punish you people. 99% of all the watchmen in my area are old men, 90 and above. They bring somebody's great-grandfather, let him sit down, and then they call him a watchman. And all he does is to sit down there with an archaic and outmoded stereotype, bow and arrow, sleeping all day. In fact, sometimes they sleep and thieves steal everything and they are still sleeping. My God. My brother, what Mahama is saying is that it's a bait. Once people are able to get the skill, certainly they will get employment in most of the cases. I remember when I went to England several years ago. I didn't go to work. I just went for vacation. And a friend of mine asked me to accompany him to work. It was a pizzeria right there inside Manchester. I remember a city called Bolton. And this was 2004, 20 years ago. I went with him. And then whilst he was working, you know, we were interacting and talking. And then the people, they liked how I was talking. The accent was, you know, beautiful in their ears. So at the end of the day, one of the supervisors approached me and asked me if I would like to spend time working there for the short period I was going to be in England. I told them I didn't have the qualification, nothing, as in the skill of making pizza. Number two, I didn't also have the papers to work. They said, oh, they could work it out for me. And I'll just work for about a month and leave for Ghana. My brother, come on carrying pizza from one place to the other in the factory. I went for a 2-week training. It was like a school. If you see a rat, raise the alarm. If you see a cockroach anywhere, raise an alarm. Don't ever carry pizza without wearing a nose and beard snood. The first time I heard the word snood, I had to cover my whole beard with a snood so that hair pieces will not fall in the pizza. They taught me the difference between mozzarella cheese and some other side cheese I can't even remember. Carrying pizza from one point to the other and sprinkling peppers and some kind of cheeses on that. I had to go for training for 2 weeks rigorously. Yes, rigorously. But in Ghana, people who are supposed to take care of your lives, watchmen, no training, come and sit down, old men and women. Please, let's be wise. Mahama says, try and get a skill before you try to leave this country. And the bait is a big bait. Once you get a skill, you might not even want to leave the nation because you are living because of unemployment. If you have the skill, you might just employ yourself or find employment. To God be the glory. Now, the very last thing I want to look at, and my producer says, please make sure that you look at this. I'm going to look at it. I'm reading this from CNN. Yes, CNN. Did you hear me say CNN? I said CNN. Oh. Yes, CNN. I'm reading this, I said, from CNN. Did you hear me? Okay. Joe Biden drops out of U.S. presidential race for November. The president of the United States of America and presidential candidate of the Democratic Party has dropped out of the country's 2024 elections. The long and short of it all is that he's 81 years. He thinks that his health has to be looked at. He has to move away and make sure that stronger legs and limbs come into play. And he has gone ahead to endorse his vice president, Kamala Harris, a black woman. My brother, two things. She's black. Biden's boss was also black. He's fighting for his vice president who is black to also be president. So that I served a black man and a black woman served me. Now it is my duty to endorse that black woman. My predecessor was black. This one too, I'm trying to make that be possible. Now, what is the importance of this? In a country where black people are so disrespected and disregarded, Black Lives Matter, you remember, anything black is a source of suspicion. They shoot and kill you. They gag you and kill you right in broad daylight. And most of the cases, nothing happens. We remember Amadou Diallo. We all remember George and much more. My brother, my sister. The second thing is that this will never happen in Africa. We have Nana Akufo-Addo, Wallahi, if there was a third term, Nana Akufo-Addo would run. So that he will go and continue sleeping in public. Wallahi, if there was a fifth term, Nana Akufo-Addo will run until fifth term. My brother, it's a disgrace in Africa. The man has won the ticket for the Democratic Party. He decides, upon being told and being admonished, he decides to wholeheartedly step down and endorse a woman. A woman. Why didn't they bring on Hillary? But a black woman they put in there. My brother, my sister, even though his endorsement is not automatic choice, right? He says, my health is failing me, I am old, and I think that I will stay a one-term president. He has gained my respect. Ha! Go to Cameroon. There's a dirty president there called Paul Biya. He's 90-something. He sits in a wheelchair. He has two men who carry him wherever he goes. They change his pampers every 20 minutes. He's president. Algeria, it happened the other day. The man had stroke. All his left side gone. He was sitting in a wheelchair and pretending to rule the nation. Can you name how many more old men and women we have in Africa as presidents? Joe Biden decides that, hey, let me go. Well, it is a clarion call to people like Nana Akufo-Addo, who love power so much they can drink Kalipo and fry kelewele and do everything to get into power. And when they get into power, their true selves come into being, disrespecting chiefs who are older than them. Need I say more? I leave it here. Well, my name is Blakk Rasta, and to Joe Biden, I say blessed love, guidance, and protection. Oh my God, have mercy. And to Kamala Harris, well, we all have our opinions about you. You came to this country, you were so arrogant. You spoke to us like your children. Be careful. Be careful. Be careful. If you're not careful, we will fight you spiritually. Because we know that you have all the physical power. But spiritually, we will fight you. Be careful. You are black. It doesn't matter how many millions of years you live in America. You are still black. Respect. Hi, rest of my name, Blakk Rasta, and of course, the voice of the Patriot, where we speak truth to power. Remember, here we don't criticize, but if we must, on only one condition, to build and not to destroy. That is why we say we have taken sides. We are not neutral. We are on the side of the truth, the headquarters of the truth. Subscribe and make sure you hit on the like button. And we would always be knocking on your door, so you will feel the truth. Like fire, more fire. My name, Blakk Rasta. My brother, when things like this happen, you have to be careful what you say. George Britton early today posted that he was so disappointed that KK Fosu did not attend the funeral. As to whether he spoke to KK Fosu before going to post such a thing on the World Wide Web, I will not be able to tell. My brother, my sister, I saw so many people talk about this thing and write about that on social media. Then later this morning, I started hearing interviews left, right, and center that were granted by KK Fosu. In fact, in one of the interviews, he said that John Claude has died. Should that end my life too? Nobody called me when we had the accident. No blogger called me to solidarize with me or empathize with me. Today there's a funeral and everybody wants me to attend. whether they know I am in good condition or not in terms of my health. But there was a big question that came. You were ready to go to the Ghana Music Awards to perform an Amachide this song and get paid. At the time you were even freshly injured. How couldn't you make it to the funeral? Well, so many answers could be given to this. My sickness got worse. He could have answered. But no, he didn't go that way. What did KK Fosu say? He said, listen, I am a musician. That is how I feed my family. At the hospital, when my family started coming in to greet me, my wife and children, I felt so down because I am the breadwinner of my family. They couldn't eat anything whilst I was away on the bed sick. Some other people had to come in and support. That was what KK Fosu said. I mean, straight away it will hit so many people to say this is quite disrespectful and unsympathetic. You still have your life. Family members still come to greet you. But one other person who was with you in the car and was a videographer of a good friend of yours who probably invited him on the trip lost his life. Do you care about the feeling of the family? But my brother, my sister, I would not go that direction. My direction is simple. In this country, we don't take mental health seriously at all. I'm sad. My brother, there are so many kinds of phobia in the world. We have Anglophobia. We have so many phobias, my brother, my sister, that can shock you. There's a phobia of relapsing into trauma again, if I may use that word. My brother, it's called PTDS. My brother, my sister, post-traumatic distress syndrome. My brother, my sister, it is sad what it is. PTDS. A lot of American soldiers who went to Iraq. Today, if you may permit my use of this bad language, they have become vegetables. The American government is taking care of them because they have been overly traumatized. Anything that is near what they saw that traumatized them relapses them and makes them even more traumatic. My brother, it's not easy to see a friend or a colleague die right in front of your eyes. Many people never recover till they die. A few months back, there was a boat that turned over. It capsized and killed innocent school children. One girl survived. She is still suffering from PTDS. My brother, my sister, this stress is so traumatic. Just Google it and find out exactly what it means to say PTDS. And you will be shocked what you see, my brother, my sister. It is shocking. The fear of relapsing into a traumatic situation is called PTDS, post-traumatic stress disorder. Post-traumatic stress disorder. And listen, many people who have experienced trauma live in fear of what trauma and that same trauma happening again. PTSD. PTSD. Remember, it's PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder. My brother, my sister, related anticipatory anxiety can occur as a symptom of any traumatic experience. For instance, a car crash, a mugging, or witnessing a loved one's death. I remember when my mother died in the hands of the youngest in the family, my younger brother. In fact, noises that he heard, the movement of feet of the nurses and doctors coming to that distress call in the hospital, anytime he heard a scream, he relapsed into trauma. You know what we had to do? We had to take him out and send him somewhere else where he's still living. Anytime he comes into the house, in fact, it took a lot of therapy for him to return to the house where our mother died. PTSD is dangerous. In Ghana, we don't seem to know what it is. Our health authorities are not also doing too well with this by explaining it to people. For all you know, KK Fusu is suffering from PTDS. SD, I beg your pardon. I keep flipping the two. PTSD. Post-traumatic stress disorder. It's a disorder. So to all the people who are out there pointing fingers at him, oh, you wanted to go for the Ghana Music Awards at the time you were in the hospital, yet you couldn't make it to the funeral, and you are there talking nonsense. Please start thinking that he might be suffering from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's not a common thing in Ghana. Every sickness in Ghana is malaria. My brother, my sister, it's when you travel outside Ghana that they could tell you that you are suffering from Qatar. And in Ghana say, na Qatar so yare. Think about it. When the foul sickness came, so many Ghanaians said, but this disease, we've been eating fowls with this disease and nothing happened. They said, this is bird flu. Or say bird flu or flu bird. We will go chop the chicken. In Ghana, we are not doing too well with educating the masses. It's sad, but I will not cast a stone at KK Fosu, having gone through it myself. Sometimes some people become crazy forever, if I may use that word, because of PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. Even the sound of a car can trigger the trauma again, let alone going to the funeral, hearing people wail when you almost died in the same crash. Do you know what that means, Ghana? Let's be careful how we throw stones, I beg you. Coming from Tia Ahmadiyya Secondary School, when I was in Form 1, traveling all the way back to Tamale. In fact, there was a kind of bus in those days called Wakrafi. In other words, have you said bye-bye to your house? Oven. Those were the cars running there. 14-man condemned. Some people called it so. But the common name is Wakrafi. Later, the government of Ghana banned the urban buses from plying long distances like Kumasi, Tamale. The first accident I had was with Wakrafi. 14-man condemned. Jinapor, bang! And that sound, luckily nobody died, but injuries. I came out without a single injury, but I had PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I didn't want to sit in any car again. When I heard the sound of a car, it was like I was going to be in an accident. And the wailing of the people in the car when the accident occurred, anytime I heard anybody scream, it directed me straight to that accident. It's not an easy thing. Please ease it down on KK Fosu. It's not easy to be in a car and know that you escaped death by a whisker. Let alone see somebody that you were chatting with all the way from Accra die like that. All these things he's saying, please, it could be coming from PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. It's unfortunate. I've spent so much time of the Black Pot talking about PTSD, post-traumatic stress disorder. I pray that KK Fosu and Bless are okay. As for the family of Claude it's already happened. I saw an article he wrote, in fact, a poem, very powerful. He said, if I die today, I have fulfilled my life on earth, because I live every day as if it was my last day on earth. And don't be disappointed if I die today. I read that poem posted by Elombini. So rather than crying, we should be celebrating a fulfilled life. Rest in peace, Claude